morning, everybody. Mike is busy putting up the fence around my garden, so he can't join me. So I appreciate that, so I didn't want to bother him. But I did ask him, and he did tell me to go ahead and do this real quick. Because, we've mentioned before in our videos, and many of us know, that the reason there is such a high amount of donations being asked for at circuit assemblies and special assembly days, like before the day even begins, you've got like a $14,000 deficit in the circuit funds. And that's how much they're wanting even for their own assembly halls. So we knew that. And it was an amount per publisher. Well, now I want to thank Atlantis so much for leaking us these documents, instructions for circuit accounting. Now I had to block out the name of the assembly hall because I don't want to out the person that gave this to us. But I'm going to put a link down below to these documents. It's very interesting because we actually have an amount, accounting instructions. Wow. I mean, they're just after the money. They're after the money. And reading these, it's almost like they feel they deserve it and they're owed it. So it's really disturbing. Before I start, I want to apologize to Atlantis and all my other sources who have been sending the elders manuals in so many languages. I forgot to thank them yesterday. I was just so tired. And a few things I got really tongue twisted. Like in reference to the King James, and I had told the Bible bully, it's your book, not mine. What I meant to say was us and Jane Doe are reading from your Bible. It's in black and white. This is not us saying this. And if you're upset by what is in your Bible, black and white, get over it. Or quit watching our videos. Simple. Alright, back to more important things. So, these instructions, and like I said, I'm going to put the link down below. I'm not going to read all of this, but it's really interesting reading. So I just want to cover a couple of things. On page 2, paragraph 13, the funds in the accounts department are to be attended by at least 2 brothers at all times so as to avoid suspicion. So they don't even trust their own, members. And that's in bold print. Now, over on page 3, this was kind of interesting. Paragraph 14. Circuit Assembly and Special Assembly Day Financial Report, Form S-332. We know Watchtower is a form for everything. In the advance of the meeting with the elders at the Circuit Assembly or the Special Assembly Day, the Assembly Overseer, the Assistant Assembly Overseer, and the Accounts Overseer should discuss the circuit's finances. Consideration can be given as to whether there are sufficient funds presently in the circuit account to recommend to the elders that donations be sent to the worldwide work. Kingdom Hall construction worldwide, a local assembly hall, and so forth. At that time, they should also discuss circuit expenses, such as those related to the assembly, the purchase of circuit equipment, the maintenance or renovation of a traveling overseer's residence, and the food, transportation, and office expenses incurred by the traveling overseers while serving in his theocratic assignments. See paragraphs 18 and 21 to 23. The assembly overseer should take the initiative to inquire if the circuit overseer and district overseer or guest speaker would like to submit any expenses to the circuit. Now, this is the form from 2013, and that's back when they still had district overseers. At the time of the circuit elders meeting, all should be informed that the circuit accounts were audited after the last assembly. After that, a portion of the circuit assembly special assembly day financial report should be considered with the elders. The operative word, a portion of. So even the elders sitting in these meetings, in these circuit meetings, are not given the full information, full disclosure. Discuss line 6, explaining all of the anticipated expenses in connection with the assembly, including the normal operating expenses. See paragraph 7. Oy vey. Over in paragraph 17, assembly, surplus, or deficit. Ideally, each assembly is to pay the expenses it incurs, with surplus funds being deposited in the circuit account. If a deficit, see line 12 of the Circuit Assembly Special Assembly Day Financial Report, S332, should occur at the end of the assembly and circuit funds can cover the loss, there would be no need to write the congregations to make up the difference. However, if there are insufficient funds in the account to pay expenses for the last assembly or to meet initial expenses for the next assembly, such as a deposit to secure the use of a facility, the circuit overseer may direct that congregations be advised of the privilege to contribute. Good Lord. And like I said, there's 5 pages here. And then they have the Circuit Assembly financial report. But there's no amount on this. So very few people get to see this page. Down here, you see they have this, and this is usually what they read from the podium to the members, the JWs. Down here though, bold print, the following portion is not to be read to the audience. Rather, it should be completed by the accounts overseer at the end of this assembly. And then they have additional contributions and credits received, additional expenses, if any. And then they have them, do the math. And it says final assembly, surplus or deficit, sums of line 6 and 9. But the last page that was on here, like I said, I blacked out, redacted, and we're going to be looking at this part right here. Line number 1, contributions to Assembly Hall operations and maintenance. Now here is where we get our total. They have brackets. Number of publishers times $5.25. Are you kidding me? Just for the contributions of Assembly Hall operations and maintenance, they're wanting $5.25 per publisher? So even if your 8-year-old kid is a publisher, they're expecting $5.25 to go to Watchtower for them. It gets better, or I should say it gets worse. Line 2 is just the debit and credit transactions deposited to Assembly Hall account. Okay, maintenance and operations contribution less debit and credit deposited. The next line is another doozy. Line number 4, contributions to worldwide maintenance and construction. Brackets again, number of publishers times $6.50. So I'm sure many of you have done the math by now. So that's $11.75 per publisher that is assigned to a circuit assembly or special assembly day. Now do you see why even using their own assembly hall they want like $14,000 to $20,000? Yeah. Wow. And before I sign off, something else. I have been trying to find the person that makes these t-shirts and sent them to us several years ago. I think your name is Trevor, and I looked in my email and I've got about 8 different Trevors, and I've been sending messages out. Well, some of them have been bounced back to me. So if you're the person that makes these t-shirts, please put the link down below and send me an email with the link, because there are some that are wanting these. They see us wearing them, and they can see the top of it, but they want some of these t-shirts. So thank you. So anyway, and I want to thank everybody so much, for your comments and emails. And I'm busy at work here trying to get a bunch of stuff done, but I will put the link down below to these account forms. Oy vey. But anyway, thank you all so much, and like I said, especially our dear friend Atlantis and our sources for sending me the information. And if you didn't know about this, I put all of the languages, all versions of the elders manuals we have in a WeTransfer, and I believe we had probably about 10 different languages. So go grab that file, because it's only good for 6 more days, and it has all of the versions in it, including the English. So you all have a great weekend. Take care, be safe, and we love you. Bye.